Okay, let's go live. All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to episode number 27 of the Blossoming Into You series. I'm your host, Mika Lau. I call myself a pleasure embodiment coach dedicated to supporting women across the globe to reclaim their sexy so they can receive all of their heart's desires with openness, ease, and pleasure. And today, joining me, we have Doreen, who is going to be sharing with us her beautiful sacred journey of following the call of the goddess. And what that would look like, we are going to find out shortly here. And I'm just really excited to dive into this conversation to talk about how we women get to reclaim the joyful, exuberant, and sensual beings that we are all born to be. So, with that being said, Doreen, would you care to share with us a little bit more about you and say hi to the audience?
Hi, everyone. Good morning. Let's see. um, well, right now I am on 3.5 years of cultivating a yoga practice on my own. I started on YouTube with Yoga with Adrian. She had a 30-day like camp. So I dedicated the 30 days to it. And once I did it, she has 4 or 5 more series. I did it and I haven't stopped. I've missed maybe 3 or 4 days here and there because I just didn't feel like it one day or whatever. But I always look forward to getting up and doing it in the morning. Yeah, and I've incorporated a qigong, which is a form of Tai Chi. It's breathing and stretching. And I do a lot of meditations. And I haven't yet taken up a mantra practice. I'm going to work on that.
Beautiful. So thank you for sharing
Oh,
that,
thank you.
Doreen. And before we keep going into a conversation, I do want to also invite our audience in a little bit of the background, how me and Doreen got to where we're at today. And I want to take some time to really celebrate her, to acknowledge her for being on here today. I know this is your first time to really be put in a platform that is so public, that is being seen by a pretty decent amount of people, and it takes courage. It takes so much courage for a woman, especially in a culture that's really been taught in so many different ways to fear ourselves being seen, to fear being heard, to fear taking up space. So for you to take this bold step and courageous step to be on here today, it's a celebration. I really want to acknowledge you for that. And I think it's important to set that context for our audience because, whoever it is that are listening right now, any woman that may be tuning in, if you resonate with what I just shared or with Doreen, where she came from, keep listening. Like, this may be for you. This may be something you've been looking for. So Doreen, share with us a little bit more about how did this first got started? You said you've been on this path for about 3.5 years now. Like,
Yes.
what was the call that really initiated all of this?
Okay. First, there was two. Um, the first one was I felt like I was being called to return home. Like I felt like I'm 49 years old. And
Young.
so about 25 years ago, I got disconnected. I disconnected because I'm very sensitive. I'm empathic.
Mhm.
Um, I feel things very deeply. And I just disconnected and I repressed myself and my emotions. And I ended up having to battle a very long addiction.
Mhm.
And I am almost 5 years clean in recovery. That's the second.
Beautiful.
That's the
That's
second thing,
awesome.
Miko, is that's what led me to yoga. I
Mm.
knew that if I wanted to live a healthy life instead of just existing, that I was
Mhm.
going to have to start somewhere where I had never been.
Mhm.
I have never been a friend to self love or self acceptance. And I just felt like, and I'm also in menopause.
Mm.
So I've been going through a lot of, ups and downs these past few years. And that's what really drew it to me. I needed an outlet. I needed to connect somehow with spirit. And
Mhm.
I was being called from a place where I disconnected from 25 years ago through the goddess spirituality for me and yoga and you. And thank you so much. I want to honor you for
Mhm.
honoring me. I mean that from my heart and my spirit. I'm on a journey of radical self acceptance, self love, and taking
Mhm.
inspired action. And
Mhm.
I want to live a life of joy, and I just don't want to exist. I want to feel life. I plant gardens now. You know, I've noticed the beauty of spring for the first time in years. And
Yeah.
so when the blossoming into you, I seen that and I felt like, oh my goodness, this is exactly where I need to be. I don't know. I'm not going to question why. I just know I am trying to blossom into the best version that I know I can be. And I'm planting these seeds along the way. And I'm starting to finally feel after 3.5 years, they're starting to bud. Like I'm starting to see the fruits of my labor, and I just feel like I just dipped my toes in the water. There's so much more. This it gets
Yeah.
so deeper.
And Doreen, I'm getting really emotional over here listening to you
Yeah,
right
me
now.
too. I'm,
And I want to share with you why. Because I think right now this moment is very sacred. I'm sitting here and I'm just looking at you, and I want to kind of shine the awareness and the spotlight on you and letting you know what I'm seeing, what I'm witnessing. As I hear you share your beautiful journey and your story, all I can witness is a beautiful goddess that's already in you. Like I can feel her, I can see her, and that's why I'm getting emotional. And I say this is sacred because witnessing you following that call, witnessing you coming back home to her after decades of being repressed, after decades of shutting her out, rejecting your own emotions, and the essence, one of the essence of being a woman, being a goddess, is her wide range of emotions, her fluidity, her ability to feel the deepest rage, the deepest anger, to the orgasmic bliss. Like that is the essence of her. And for you to have spent decades like really shoving that part of you away to now coming back home to her, I just feel so much of that goddess in you, and that's why I'm getting so emotional.
so am I have tears in my eyes right now because I can feel that. Like I said, I'm empathic, and
Mhm.
I pick up on energies, and I hear what's not being said, non-verbally, energetically, I guess. Um, wow. Thank you so much. I mean, there's a lot of things that brought me to the place of repression. You know, I'm a victim of sexual abuse, and
Mhm.
I was um, I was kind of involved in white slavery for a little bit. Um, so yeah, this is a really good place for me to be right now. I feel like I'm finally coming back to me. Like when you said that you saw that in me, it made me cry because I wish that I could see that. And I feel like I'm starting to get a little glimpse. Like this is very healing for me right now.
Mhm.
Um, and I just thank you, Miko. I'm really blown away right now. Um, I'm overwhelmed with emotion and gratitude.
Mhm.
And if anybody can resonate with my story, I just want to empower and lift and inspire and lead by example. And, just really, I want to shine my light again.
You
It got
you are
dimmed.
already shining. You're already
Yeah.
shining so big. And Doreen, I do also want to say like what I'm feeling from you, you are there is a tremendous weight of pain collectively that you have carried with you, that's not even yours, right? It's almost ancestral. It's almost like on a bigger scale.
I
And
thought
because
so. I thought so.
I feel it, and I mean, let me know if it's resonating, right? But I
It
can
is.
feel this is deep, like this is deep, deep, deep weight that you've been carrying for so long. And also, this goes to show like how powerful and strong and courageous the goddess in you really are, because she chose all of these experiences. She chose to have all of these pain and the repression of the collective globally, ancestrally. You picked up all of these pain, and so that now you can find the goddess again through all of that pain. And it takes tremendous strength to get you to where you're at today. So the decades of repression that you have unconsciously or intentionally, the goddess chose that to show her strength, to show how much she's been like in you, cultivating you, and every step along the way like gets you exactly where you're at today. And it's so beautiful to witness.
Thank you.
What are you feeling right now during what's coming up for you?
When you said that you felt the pain of ancestral, I have always intuitively felt that it was karmic, that
Mhm.
it's been lifetime. I do believe in reincarnation. Um, I think that everything that I've gone through is definitely a lesson. Um, I don't know. I do know that it goes deep. It's
Mhm.
more than just who I am right now. Like I said, like you said, it runs deeply, and I feel like that has something to do with maybe, I don't want to sound but I might past lives. You know what I mean? It's definitely connected, and I mean, I don't know. I this repression. I can honestly tell you, I was sexually abused by my father at 4,
Mhm.
and ever since then, that's when the disconnect happened, I believe. But then it happened to me multiple times before I was 10.
Mhm. Mhm.
So yes, um, and repression and not being able to speak up for myself when I need to, and not having, set boundaries. I don't want to be a doormat just because I wear my heart on my sleeve.
Mhm.
I just
Mhm.
I've had to learn the hard way, but I've always asked for a part of me to never lose that part of myself. Like if I
Mhm.
started to feel like bitter and jaded about life at this age that I'm at, and life sucks, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to lose that part. And something within me from where I disconnected was screaming at me, telling me to come back,
Mhm.
come back, don't
Mhm.
go, because I can see you turning into what you said you didn't want to.
Mhm.
And I think that's what is there's a cord there, that was keeping me. And I think I might need to maybe dive deeper and cut some cords or something, lighten up my load, so to speak.
Yeah.
And
And
the
Doreen,
thing is, ancestors, I don't even
mhm.
know anything about my ancestors, honestly. I really
Mhm.
don't. So that's
Mhm.
kind of another thing.
And I think simply by understanding the intensity or the what you have been through, under kind of shedding some light to that on yourself, I feel could be healing. I feel could alleviate some of that pressure off your shoulders. Um, in your story, I want to say thank you for being so vulnerable and sharing that, because first of all, sexual abuse is so common, yet women
I
have been
know.
taught to not talk about it, to pick up all of the trauma and the pain that comes from that, to solve it on her own, to think that it's
I
all
totally
100%.
agree. I
Yeah.
totally agree. I felt like when it was time for me to tell my mother what had happened about that time, it seemed like everybody was on Jerry Springer or Montel telling their story, and it became common that I didn't feel like it was relevant. So I never really did anything with it. I just compartmentalized it, stuffed it in,
Yeah, so let's look at that situation, right? For a little child at that age to have her body, her boundaries to be violated, she learned to no longer trust her own body. It's
and
the
that
body
sets
that she lives in.
it sets up the precedent and how you're going to interact with the males for the rest of your life. The way I see it, my first experience with someone that I was supposed to trust and feel safe with was disrespected and dishonored, that it set me up for a really negative experience with men in general, because it set the precedent for it. You understand?
Yes.
So yeah.
And
I just want to, yeah.
And on an even bigger scale, if you really think of it this way, the masculine energy really represents the God force, the force that gives us safety, that gives us security, that gives us a sense of, just relax and exhale, that space for us to just feel safe. Like that is the same essence. So from a very early age on, if that trust, if that relationship has been breached with violation, disrespect, dishonor, then we have this foundation of, I don't know who I can trust. I don't know where. There's no safety within your body. And then we spend our whole life almost like running away from this invisible monster, and our body is put into this hyper fight, flight, or freeze mode, and then living in that constant stress, living in that survival mode, and obviously the body is going to burn out. The woman's body needs nourishment, needs safety, needs security to really blossom, to it's like have that light inside of us to be lit, to be radiant, to be exuberant and joyful. All of that requires certain needs to be met.
Yes.
So all of that makes sense.
And the sexuality is very deep with that as well, for a woman to feel like she is all of the things that you just said. So it's hard to be intimate, in that way. So there's a fine line there, and I'm in the process of blossoming into me. I really am, Nico. I'm right there. I'm here in the middle of it,
You are in the middle of it right now.
I am.
Yeah. So I feel called to ask you this, Doreen. I want to hear more from you. What is the vision that you see? Like, what is that calling? The goddess. How is she like when you fully embody her? When you're fully back home to her, who do you see yourself to be blossoming into?
Okay, so interesting that you say this. I have been somewhat wrestling with the idea of taking maybe yoga into the 12 steps and incorporating that with, instead of like Narcotics Anonymous or AA, maybe incorporate that in with the 12 steps. And there already is something like that. A woman named Nikki Myers created, I think, Y2SR yoga and the 12 steps exactly for that. And I've looked around to getting certified, and I can't afford it, and they're not offering scholarships, but I'm going to find somehow way. And they don't have anything here. I'm in Salem, Oregon, and they don't have anything like anywhere like that except for like Portland, but that's like about 45 minutes, an hour away, or in Eugene. So that would be something maybe I'd like to do. Also, I have a calling for some reason. I'm very passionate about our justice system and our civil rights and imprisonment. And I would maybe like to take yoga into prisons and rehabilitation centers and be a support system for somebody that needs it in the most worst place in their life. Like there is something called yoga nidra, that it's not the yoga asanas. It's more like a meditation where you do a body scan and you set a sankalpa, which is an intention. And there is a program that offers this with meditation, which I would love to take into live in rehabilitation, addiction facilities, like I said, prisons, anybody that is looking for a way to heal. For me, this is it. It may not work for everyone,
Mhm.
but I think I just want to help heal others, because I just feel so passionate about what it's doing to me. When I'm
Mhm.
turning the light inward and I'm gardening, I'm excavating, I'm clearing out all that stuff, and I'm trying to plant new thoughts. And wow, I don't know. I would love to just be there for someone else that if I was in that position. I'd love to work with ex sex workers. Any
Mhm.
way that I could help, especially females, empower themselves, I would love to do that. So maybe something like that. I'm trying to figure out my dharma right now, my purpose, and it's coming. It's coming along.
Doreen, and everything that you just shared, it's so beautiful. It's like it's a testament to your heart, like how big your heart is to serve other women and how much love you get to offer. I heard a lot of what you intend and envision yourself doing, but I would like to hear more from you. Who is this woman that you will be? How will she feel? How will she move? How will she talk? Like, who is this woman, this goddess in you? So paint that picture for me. It has nothing to do with what she does, but who she is being.
I will be patient, compassionate, forgiving, gentle, yet firm if I need to be. I
Mhm.
will be able to speak when I need to. I will be able to set boundaries for myself. I will respond rather than react.
Mhm.
Um, I see grace and patience and being strong and resilient and
Mhm.
shining and like a light for people to come to, and be that strength and that um softness at the same time, like the universal mother. I have no children. I chose not to have children. um
Mhm.
I have two fur babies that I love.
Mhm.
But yeah, maybe all of the strength, grace, and compassion.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I want to
Mhm.
accept myself completely on the inside and out. And aging is another process on all itself. I'm
Yeah.
kind of having a rough time with letting go of the ego.
Mhm.
I'm struggling with
Mhm.
the ego and the vanity of who I was 25 years ago. I'm changing, and that's just another transition in a phase in my life. I'm trying to do that very gently with myself.
Mhm. Yeah, and here's the secret, right? To have full radical self-acceptance
Yes,
includes loving this ego, loving who you have been these past 25 years, loving the fact that you're on menopause, loving that you're aging. Like, menopause is such a beautiful, unique, sacred chapter of womanhood. I mean, it
it
may be
is.
different, right, from all other chapters, but it's sacred.
It is. And
Yeah.
me being a kind of just a newbie to it, I'm still in the
Mhm.
phase of accepting that.
And
So I'm not
even
there
that,
yet.
it's okay, right? Even like
And
that
even if you're not,
impatience.
yes,
Yeah, yeah,
yes.
like really talk to yourself and let
Try
yourself
not to be
know.
judgmental. Try not to be self-critical. Try not to beat
Hmm.
yourself up in your head. You
Yeah,
know,
it's a journey. It's a process for sure. I mean,
it is a process, a
it's a
lifelong
muscle.
process. I think
Hmm.
so. Because if you're gonna stay the same in your thinking and think you know it all, you're never gonna learn anything other than what you know.
Hmm.
And I just want to
Hmm.
keep learning and keep I want to lead by example. I want to show others that they could come out of the dark side of the dark night of the soul if
Mm.
you really want to. There's people out there that care, that are with you, whether you realize it or not. I say prayers for everyone energetically. I believe in energy hugely. And yeah, I'm just trying to keep my energy centered and grounded. I'm planting my roots,
And
for a strong
also
foundation.
and also loving the times when you are not centered, when you are not grounded, when you are
Yeah.
like wild like the ocean and just letting your emotions fly all over the place. Like that's the essence of the feminine. You get to allow her to feel all of her pain, to feel all of the rage, all of the anger, the sadness.
You
And
have to honor it. You need to honor every emotion, and you have every right to feel that emotion. You just don't have the right to take that emotion on someone else.
mm,
It's because you're feeling, emotional or angry. It's not good to, take that anger and direct it towards anybody else. I more or less, I'm so good at doing that on the inside.
mm,
So I'm just
mm,
trying to change my thought process as well. Cognitive behavioral stuff on a deeper
yeah.
level.
And Doreen, what came to me when you said that you don't have children, you chose not to, instantly I saw and I got this message like you are the universal mother for all women across the globe, right?
I
Especially the
know.
women, especially those that resonate with you,
Yes.
especially those that have been through the same experiences as you. Like, for example, I always say this to the women I connect with or I bring on to this show, there are a very specific group of women that only resonate with you, right? I have been, my own journey, my own experiences, but I'm not, I have no place to say I've been through what it felt like to have, sexually abused at age 4. I can't say that because I don't have that experience, but you can, and you have the experience, and you have the insight, you have the strength, you have the courage to been through what that experience was like and came over on the other side. So now there are very specific women that are waiting for you, waiting for Doreen, and you are their universal mother to cultivate that safety and the nurturing for them to also walk through this path with
I
your
hope
support.
so. I I I hope so too, because I would kid myself and I'd say, well, I'm a universal mother, but I believe that I just might be.
You are, you gotta own it. Claim that.
I know I have trouble with that. I told you about my self-esteem and self-confidence issues, and I understand a little more every day that's in the way that I speak to myself,
Mhm,
in my inner dialogue, and um, I'm trying to work on that, right. It's
mhm.
not easy though,
Yeah, and it's all
but it's worth
perfect.
it. I know it's going to be worth it.
And you just inspire everyone listening right now to also know that we are all universal mothers. Like the essence of a woman, we are what brings spirit into form. We are
Yes,
the bridge. We are a living, breathing work of creation.
yes,
So just knowing that we are what cultivates a seed to blossom and we give it nourishment, and there's just so much beauty in a woman, and we all get to reclaim that. And
I
things
agree.
for women like you who have the courage to be seen, to be heard, to be witnessed is what really supports so many women out there. So thank you, Doreen.
Miko, thank you for providing me with a safe space, a sacred space. This is something I talk about with a lot of people. As
Mhm,
I don't have a problem with it if I need to,
mhm,
but I can, but I don't usually, So thank you, and can I honor you
mhm.
for what you are doing and allowing for other women, because you're bringing us all together, just like the universe brought us together, and we're here right now. So thank
Yeah.
you.
Mm. Oh, love that message so much because I do feel like collectively the divine feminine is coming back, and she's all about connection. She's all about unity,
Yep.
and supporting each other and generosity. And so thank you for that. I receive your your witnessing me and your honor and your appreciation.
Yep.
So we are coming to the end of this. Is there anything else, Doreen, that you feel that you really want to share with any woman that may be tuning in right now?
I just want to say that if you're walking on this path, or you've walked on the path that I've been on, that to let you know that there's hope and there is happiness, and there are people out there to support you, people out there that love you and care about you, and you're not alone. And you're never alone, even in your darkest moment. I'll be there with you. You're not alone.
Mhm. When you said that, I felt all the love. I felt it. Like the
I
darkest,
really mean that.
it's like there's parts of me in the darkness just felt the light came in when you said that. And
I
that
just have chills all over the place.
me too, through this whole conversation. Like I'm just
Yeah.
vibing and feeling the beautiful goddess energy that's rippling through you. Um, and this may have just saved someone's life. We don't know that. I mean, this will be up for as long as I'm alive. It will be on YouTube. This will be on Facebook. I'll be sending this out to to my audience on email. And I really want to also honor the listeners tuning in. I always say this every time when they tune in. This is a radical act of self-love. You are listening to something that's resonating with something deep, deep, deep within you. It's waking up something within you. And thank you for honoring that, listening to that calling, and for being here today. And if you feel resonated with Doreen's message, I also would love for you to connect with her. Doreen, how can listeners find you and chat with you if they want to connect with you?
um, well, I am under a Facebook account, a ghost account.
Well,
But I would be welcome to do that though, because
okay.
you can find me under Yvonne,
Mhm.
Yvonne, Yvonne Heisner.
Okay. Okay. And I didn't mean to put you on the spot,
No,
Doreen.
that's okay. I just wasn't on Facebook for almost 5 years, and I am a member of the Shift Society. It's a cognitive behavioral therapy group, and
Mm,
so I'm on a 6 month program, and they use Facebook a couple times a week. So I made
okay.
a ghost account, but that's okay. It's all right.
Okay. I mean, if you
All
feel
good.
comfortable, if not, like we can
No, I'm
always.
totally fine. If anybody is resonating with anything that I'm sharing and that we're talking about, please don't hesitate.
Mhm. Yeah, so all about that connection, having that support and sisterhood. So
Yeah.
thank you, Doreen, for being open to connect with the audience if they would like to reach out. And then also, as always, if anyone would like to be a guest on my series, I would love to have you. And we're just going to have a beautiful conversation like we did today. The application, you can find it somewhere along with this video. And then until next time, we are sending you so much love and honoring you, honoring the goddess in all of you. And we'll see you again for next episode.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye, Miko.